Hey guys, Wardfire here, and this is not a point and click game we have right here. This is what did I say? Point and click game? I meant this is a point and click adventure game. This is not a hidden object game. This is a point and click adventure game. It's a good thing that I'm so confused. Okay, this game is called Oknytt, which is a Swedish word, or Scandinavian word, but Swedish word. And an Oknytt is a creature, or not a specific creature, but it's from Scandinavian folklore, and it basically means a supernatural creature, which supernatural creature which may or may not have kind of magical powers. Usually these creatures are mischievous, and you don't go asking them for what's it called? Favors, okay? If you give them stuff and they like your gifts, they will help you. But, don't expect human logic or human rules to apply to them, because if they don't like you, something bad will happen to you. And a lot of different creatures are Oknytt, and the specific game features a lot of them. It is based on Swedish places and Swedish folklore specifically, more, but a lot of creatures are a bit the same over the Nordic Scandinavian countries. And I know I'm talking a lot here, but yes, so we're going to play this little point and click game, and we're going to learn about, Swedish folklore creatures and Oknytt. And I'm going to say that, you can see here, the game is in English. And the only thing that is in Swedish is that they have kept the Swedish names for all the creatures that we're going to meet in the forest, all the supernatural, all the Oknytt, which is nice. And I'm probably going to talk a lot, because we're going to get info on the creatures, and then I'm going to fill out what I know about them, because we have a lore library here. I'm not going to click it, because I already played a little bit, so we already have a bit of lore library. But yeah, we're going to, learn and have fun at the same time. These are traditional, kind of like fairy tales, but not the Disney version. This is more subdued version of the whole thing. I'm also going to say that there are subtitles everywhere in the game except the intro cutscene, so we'll have to listen a lot there. And I actually own 2 games which are inspired by Swedish folklore, Swedish creatures, Swedish supernaturality, Swedish folklore. So I'm planning on playing both of them, but we're gonna start with Oknytt. Yes, we're gonna do new game.
Hello, fellow traveler. Did you lose the trail? Come, have a seat by the fire. This is no night to be wandering these woods alone. You see, this is a special night, one rarely seen. Let me tell you a story to make the hours pass, one not many know of, and even fewer believe to be real. What do you see in this piece of stone? Yes, it is small, not much to look at, and to most, not of any particular use. Yet it is not of irrelevance to the story that I am about to share with you. You see, every 100 years or so, a strange event occurs. As the days grow short and the nights long, a night darker than others ensues. It is said that when the moon leaves the sky, as darkness envelops the land and the stars awaken, you can hear the sounds of being rarely seen. And if one lingers in the dark shadows waiting for sight to return, things that any other night would seem to be one thing appear to be another. It was during a night like this that a small, in the scope of the world, insignificant creature with no name was born.
What is this place?
The insignificant creature without a name wondered as it emerged from the ground and began to explore the dark world.
Alright, so here we are. I hope you guys could hear what he said in the beginning. Maybe I should actually drag the voice. Oh, the voices are actually... Okay. I hope you could kind of make out what he said in the beginning. Yeah, so this. I know it's really dark, isn't it? Maybe I should actually drag the gamma up a bit, just because I can. Because we can. I don't know if this makes much difference. Let's drag it up all the way and just see if it makes any difference. Here we go. Okay, I don't see a difference, but I hope it's good. So we are this little insignificant creature here. In a dark Swedish, Scandinavian, Nordic wood. We were just born and we have no idea why or who we are or anything. So up here we have inventory, which we open with just right mouse clicking. Up here we have a diary or task list or whatever you want to call it. There might be someone around who can explain where I am. So this is the chapters of the game. So there are 5 chapters. Let's see here. Can make it disappear. Yes. Down here you see we have 4 runes, which are we can control the elements and make stuff happen with the elements. So this is earth, water, fire, and air. And in some locations, not all of these will do something major. Some of them will only produce little cutscene-ish things. So if we click on air now, for example, we get this dragonfly here. That's all that happens. Wow, this is really dark. Is it just me? It was not this dark when I played the first time, I promise. Maybe it's not dark for you. I hope it's not too dark. Might be hard to record. I don't know what YouTube's going to do with it. But anyways, fire will give us this firefly, if you saw that in the lake here. That's all it does. Earth. Oh, the earth room. This is this. It doesn't really do much. I'm not going to click the water rune, actually, because I want to see what happens if you don't do it. The water rune, basically... Oh, I didn't know we could click this guy. So, yeah, this is how we interact. We can have take. This is lore, so the narrator will tell us something, and then the creature will interact with it.
The sky had a strange feeling to it that night, almost as if the stars themselves had come to life, trying their hardest to make up for the absence of the moon's glow.
There are so many of them.
The small creature thought while gazing up into the sky.
I wonder how such small things can shine so brightly.
Well, they aren't really that small.
No matter how hard it tried, the small creature couldn't reach any of the stars.
Aww.
In the middle of the clearing, there was a mound of stones that seemed to have concealed something. Stuck between the stones were 2 branches tied together to form a cross.
What was I doing below those stones?
The creature wondered, standing next to the hole it just crawled out of.
That's what we are trying to find out.
The stones were too heavy for the small creature to move.
Aw. So we have a bowl here.
On the ground there was a wooden bowl filled with what used to be flowers of vibrant colours, most likely gathered and forgotten long ago. The small creature looked at the old forgotten plants.
I wonder if they ever got the chance to be appreciated for their beauty.
The small creature carefully picked up the bowl along with the dried flowers.
The first time I played this to try out, I didn't understand how to pick up things, so I walked through it and I couldn't do anything because I couldn't pick up anything because I totally did not. There's a tutorial. When I read it, I realized that if you have to hold the left mouse button and then you get this menu with stuff you can do. So we have bowls and dried flowers, and what we can do in the inventory, we can also combine things, which we will have to do.
There was was a small spring in the clearing reflecting the night sky. In the middle of the spring you could see the reflection of a large star. Something about this star seemed different from the others around it.
I'm thinking it might be the, what we call the polar star in Swedish. I don't remember what's called in English.
What a beautiful place!
The small, insignificant creature thought to itself, admiring the reflected glow of the stars. The creature tried to collect some of the cold water, but was unable to keep the elusive liquid in its hands.
Darn. We can try with the bowl. And this, I like this mechanic, is that when you pick something out of the inventory, and you just mouse out of it, like this, the inventory box disappears of itself, so you can, use the bowl with sky.
No, that's not how it happened.
Aww, I wanted to put the stars in the bowl.
No, that's not how it happened.
Oh, rats. Well then. So, I hope you guys realize that it's just one voice actor through this entire game doing all the voices. Okay, so we would like to go to the Elves stone. A mysterious boulder standing in one of the clearings. Now, when you see the word elf, elfstone, elva, actually, why did, elvor, elva in Swedish, is not elves in English. Totally different thing. It's more like fairies. So, here we go.
On the ground there was an old grinding stone, partially buried in the dirt. It looked to have been left there a long time ago.
I wonder why someone would leave this here, although it does look a bit heavy.
The small creature thought to itself.
But we want it.
The small creature barely managed to pick up the heavy grinding stone.
Yeah, we have the grinding stone in our inventory.
At the edge of the woods there was another circle of mushrooms, seemingly too small to dance in. Some believe that certain elf circles hold the power to transport Alvor and people alike across vast distances.
So if you see mushroom circles, try not to step in them.
I wonder why this one is so small. Could it be that Alvor vary in size?
The creature wondered, while trying to imagine a small gathering inside of the ring.
Okay, actually I should have clicked on this ring first, I realize now. Oops.
The small creature thought about taking one of the mushrooms, but they didn't look all that tasty.
There are so...
Okay, yeah, okay. Large circle. Here we go. It's walking.
It is believed that circles of mushrooms spring up when elves appear to join one another in dance. If an unlucky man or woman should join them in their dance, they would find that time passes faster within the elf circle, and years may go by while they are engrossed in a few moments of joyful dance.
Yes, exactly. And that's kind of how the superstitions here work, that the Oknytt, so to speak, the creatures in themselves are not evil or good. They're neutral. They're just minding their own business. They like mischief, a lot of them, but the point is just that, they have another logic. Like, humans cannot cope with magic or with their logic.
I wonder why this one is larger than the other one.
The small creature said to itself while pondering the reason for its size.
We can try to pick a mushroom here too.
The small creature thought about taking one of the mushrooms, but they didn't look all that tasty.
Oh, I don't think they are. And here we have a skeleton, actually.
In the circle laid a pile of bones.
Awesome.
Do I look like this on the inside?
The small creature wondered, looking hard at the bones, trying to make out their original positions. The creature searched the ground for anything useful. Amongst the shattered bones, one piece seemed to be sharper than the others.
Yay, we have a sharp piece of bone. Oh, it actually is actually called sharp piece of bone.
No, that's not how it happened.
Oh, I want to ground the dried flowers. Okay, awesome. So here's an elf stone.
A large stone could often be found at the center of elf circles. How they got there, no one seemed to know. In some of the stones there were holes, said to be surrounded by strange symbols. These holes could be used to summon and gain boons from Alvor by presenting them with a gift. On the other hand, if the offering was not to their liking, the boon would instead turn into misfortune.
Yep.
Is there really someone strong enough to move a stone like this?
The creature looked at the large stone, its eyes filled with fear and admiration alike. Reaching into the hole, the small creature felt something flat, round and hard. As it removed the object from the hole, it saw that it was an old coin.
Inventory items! Woohoo! Okay, so let's try our runes here. Okay, some dancing mushrooms. Ooh, look at that. Oh!
Suddenly, as the small creature stood silently next to the large stone, beautiful glowing beings joined in dance appeared out of the darkness. The creature beheld them in awe before they, just as quickly as they appeared, vanished into thin air, seemingly unaware of the small creature who so longed to reach out to them.
That was Elvor in Elvdans. I'm still not gonna click the water because I want to see what happens if you don't do it. It's the same for all these scenes combined. So, well, new place. So yeah, I mean, I have played a bit, but I want to check out the firewood actually.
Next to the shed laid a pile of moist, old firewood.
It's moist anyhow. I thought it might be dry.
It's too bad the farmer didn't move the wood inside after working so hard to cut it.
The small creature thought as it looked at the pile of unusable firewood.
So yeah, there's a lot of reading and a lot of text in this game. A lot of them reading, but we are going to, you know, be finding stuff, combining stuff, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, and I'm gonna click on everything and read everything because, you know, that's cool.
The moist firewood was of no use to the small creature.
Drats! Alright. No, we'll not do water, actually, yet. Piece of cloth.
There was an old piece of cloth lying on the ground, seemingly being used as a doormat.
It looks like someone has been wiping their feet on it.
The small creature stated. Hey! An angry voice emanated from the shed as the creature was about to pick up the piece of cloth laying on the ground. I found that. If you want it, you'll just have to bring me something else that I can use.
I love his accent! This guy makes so many accents. The accents of, look! It's gårdstomte! Yes! I know what it is. And, you know, I totally understand no one else knows who this is. So we're gonna ask the narrator.
An old gårdstomte appeared to have made the shed his home. A gårdstomte is a being that tends to the farmer's land and tools, watching over the daily activities on the farm to make sure that nothing bad befalls it or its inhabitants.
I would like to say that's with modification, because gårdstomten is an Oknytt. from my experience, from what I've read, gårdstomten is not as nice and as polite as this particular one is, usually. The gårdstomte will help out with the farm, but you cannot expect him to do it without any form of payment. Because if you don't give him something, I think it's usually food, porridge for example. If you don't give him anything and don't keep him happy, you're gonna have a bad farm instead. You're gonna have sick animals dying, bad crops, all that stuff. So like, you gotta stay on his good side. And I've read a version somewhere that I didn't know that in some versions or in some stories, the gårdstomten is I'm starting to pronounce it in English. Is the first farmer who had the land and the farm, and who cannot find rest in death and has to go back and tend to his farm, basically. So yeah, this gårdstomte here is a really nice, polite fellow. I was very surprised.
Hello?
The small creature said politely.
Who are you?
The gårdstomte looked at the creature.
I'm the one who looks after this place. No simple task, mind you. The master of the farm hasn't been tending to the land enough this season, so I have to make up for his stupidity by working myself to the bone.
The gårdstomte muttered in a stern yet slightly proud voice.
You're a small one, aren't you? I haven't seen something like you before. Where did you come from?
The small creature looked at the gårdstomte.
I'm not sure. I remember waking up beneath a stone mound, and as I crawled out, the first thing I saw was the stars. Do you know why I'm here?
The small creature asked hopefully.
I see. Beneath the old stone mound.
The gårdstomte appeared to remember something, becoming quiet for a moment before continuing.
No, I'm afraid I don't know why you were born into this place, little one. Nor do I think there is truly a place for you here at the farm. You should look for a place of your own elsewhere.
The small creature hung its head for a moment after hearing the gårdstomte's response.
Don't fret, little one. You'll find your place in this world, I'm sure of it. This farm has simply never been that place.
Aww. He's very nice, very polite. That's not how tomtar are in Swedish folklore usually. Yeah, I'm just wow. The man in the shed is having a hard time taking care of the fields.
The gårdstomte was staying inside of the shed, out of the creature's reach.
But I wanted to touch him. Okay, maybe you shouldn't really touch a gårdstomte. And I think about it, that might be a bad idea. Okay, let's try some runes. There's a leaf falling. The earth one. Wait, what did that do? Oh, I'm standing in the way. Heba deba. There we go. And the fire rune is awesome, actually.
The warmth emanating from the coals had almost faded when something seemed to reignite them. The small creature watched the coals for a while, spellbound by their calming glow.
Yeah, so we can look at the burnt out fireplace. We're gonna look at the tool rack and the cartwheels. Okay, let's look at the tool rack, actually.
The top part of the shaft had been broken and was barely attached to the rest of the tool, now unusable for working the fields.
I think I could break it off.
The small creature said.
The tool doesn't look to be of much use to the farmer anymore.
As the small creature touched it, the top part of the shaft easily came off.
Whoopsie. Yeah, more items. It is a broken shaft. Let's go look at some more things before we break.
A pair of wooden cartwheels had been partially buried in mud over the years.
I wonder why they were left here. Didn't the farmer need them anymore?
The small creature thought to itself. The cartwheels were buried too deep for the small creature to pull them out of the ground.
Alright, well, I think we will, no, actually, we'll do this and then we're done.
As the small creature moved closer to the fireplace, it could feel a faint warmth emanating from the coals.
What a nice feeling.
The creature thought to itself as it curled up beside the fireplace, trying to warm its small body next to the coals. Even though the fire had been put out, the coals seemed too hot to touch.
I think you are right about that. Okay, so, we'll take a break here. So, yeah, I know it's not what's happening, but, you know, we're just starting to get into the game, and personally, I think it's lovely, and I love the fact that it's Swedish folklore here with gårdstomte and Elves and everything. And we're gonna meet a lot more of these creatures, and so I hope that you guys will, will want to stay and see what more happens in this game. I haven't played that much farther than this, so it's gonna be totally cool to see what happens. I'm excited personally for this game, so I hope we'll have fun together and, you know, learn a bit about Swedish folklore and creatures and Oknytt and stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again later.